Welcome to episode 40 of LearnABurn.tech, where in 5 minutes or less we promise you will learn something useful to master your technology. Imagine an army of millions of devices that are listening and ready to launch an attack. There's a massive new IoT computer worm, that's an Internet of Things worm, forming to create a cyberstorm that could take down the entire internet. The makers of this powerful botnet are taking advantage of nearly a dozen device makers, including AV-Tech, D-Link, Go-Ahead, Netgear, and Linksys, among others. This botnet is called Reaper. How apropos is that name? It's simply harvesting 9 known and published weaknesses on devices that just have not updated yet. And in many ways, Reaper is compared to a botnet from a year ago that was known as Mirai. The one consistent fact with bad actors and their tools is that they only become stronger. Brian Krebs further writes, "It's a safe bet that whoever is responsible for building this new Reaper IoT botnet will have more than enough firepower capable of executing Dyn-like attacks at internet pressure points." You might recall that many internet services were unreachable last year during the Dyn DNS attack. The most common question we were asked, or often still asked, is, why would anyone do this? And unlike decades past, when very little damage was done with malicious software, there's always an economic interest now. While DDoS was still online last year, this was their ad on the dark web. And an IP stressor, as they're advertising, effectively launches firepower at a site of the purchaser's decision. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how easy it is to create a denial of service attack. And when it's distributed via a botnet like this making the attacks, then it is a distributed denial of service, or a DDoS. We have our own ideas, of course, on how to permanently mitigate bad actors' ability to launch denial of service attacks, which requires significant adoption of egress control. But until then, check with your favorite nerd on how you can make sure your IoT devices are not participating for Reaper's benefit. See you again next week.